The American public doesn't want to deal with their crap anymore of them pushing these false narratives. If you're going to be an opinionated news outlet, you need to say so. If you're going to sit there and be like CNN and try to claim that you're unbiased and you're the most trustworthy news outlet out there, but then lie to the American public day in and day out like Brian Stelter, Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo, and others, these are the results you're going to see. Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Now, folks, I was perusing the interwebs looking for a Hallmark story, something that would make us feel good about all the crap that's been going on, and, a little bit of that old karma, that old karma's a bitch coming back, and I think I found it. Now, I'd want this to come out on a Monday, but it's a Tuesday here, folks, so we haven't reached hump day yet, that Wednesday, so hopefully this article will last us throughout the week on making us feel good, because there's a lot of crap going on. This is about the media taking a massive hit here in their ratings, in their viewership, and in their traffic ever since Trump left office. This comes from our friends over at the Daily Wire. If you're not already a member, please go over and become a subscriber today. They title it, "Media has seen massive traffic drop since Trump left office." Woo! Christmas came early, folks. Christmas came early. It starts off saying every major mainstream outlet has seen a massive traffic drop since President Donald Trump left office. And though the media isn't covering President Joe Biden as it did Trump, there may be other reasons why traffic has tanked. Now, there's leftists and Democrats out there that think that the media is unbiased and that they're covering President Joe Biden and Donald Trump on an even level playing field. But we're the conspiracy theorists. We're the psychos. We're the crazies here. That's how the media paints us. But again, there's Democrats walking out there without a brain thinking that the media is actually covering President Joe Biden in the same way they cover Trump. Just asinine to me, but I digress. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole that I don't want to. It says here, the Washington Post media reporter Paul Farhi posted a graphic on Twitter showing a massive drop in traffic for 25 of the best known mainstream print and broadcast media outlets, including his own employer. All but one showed a drop in traffic from June 2020 to June 2021. The only media outlet to show improvement over that time was BuzzFeed, though it's unclear whether the traffic is solely related to news or other ventures. Now, BuzzFeed just doesn't cover the news. They do other things like cooking stuff. They do stuff on YouTube and other branding things. So it might not be solely related to just news. Now, the outlet with the biggest drop in traffic over the past year was Forbes, which lost over 60%, folks, of the traffic since last June. According to Farhi's graphic, in June 2020, Forbes had 113 million page views, but this year, for the same month, the outlet received 44.6 million views. Jeez, talk about taking a hit. Here's how other major outlets fared. The Wall Street Journal, negative 19%. CNN, negative 20. Ooh, I wish that was a lot lower, folks. I wish it was like negative 50. Axios, negative 26. Fox News, negative 26. NBC News, negative 27. Washington Post, negative 27. The Guardian, negative 32. And it keeps going down. We got ABC News, negative 55. Lost over half their audience. Wow. But, hey, all these outlets are major, trust newsworthy outlets. Fox News is in there too. They've done some stuff. They kind of botched a few things with Trump and other outlets as well on reporting what is trustworthy and what isn't. So the American public is able to dictate and look up on the internet if somebody's saying something true or not. But the outlets don't get this. The media don't get that there's people that will check their shit if they're saying something true or not. And when we've been living in this environment for 4+ years, it's been going on longer than that. But when we've been living in this environment where they've just been lying through their teeth for that long, people don't want to watch it. I was actually talking to somebody the other day. They're like, "Hey, do you watch MSNBC?" I said, "No, I don't really watch any major news anymore because I can't take it. They're constantly lying. It's part truth and part lies. I don't want to have to take the time to decide what you're saying is true and what you're not. I'll just search the stuff up myself and dictate what I think is true or not and figure it out myself without having to listen to damn Brian Stelter trying to freaking weave his way into his narratives left and right constantly. Media outlets won't cover the Biden administration the way it covered Trump, even though it could. Since Biden is a Democrat, his administration gets the benefit of the doubt and spin that Trump never received. One could argue that Trump deserved the coverage, but that could be said for any president. The media just won't cover a Democratic administration the way it covers a Republican. Absolutely right and true. A blatant example was how the media has covered the border issues between the three presidents. Even though the Obama administration began the kids in cages, who built cages, Joe? Who built the cages? Treatment, it didn't become a rally cry for Democrats until the policy of migrant detention was continued under the Trump administration. Suddenly, it was a huge human rights issue and violation. Now the Biden administration is in power and the practice is continuing. The media has stopped caring. AOC has stopped going down there, taking her false photos of her standing in front of parking lots, pretending like she cares and claiming that she cares. They could say the difference was relating to family separations, but that was not the sole difference. The media treated these presidents differently for obvious reasons. But is the drop in media traffic solely due to Trump? Farhi wrote in March that the coronavirus pandemic had something to do with the drop, as the pandemic became an international story that started the wane after Trump left office. There's also some evidence that social media companies have played a role in the drop in traffic. Earlier this year, Facebook announced that it would be changing its algorithm to reduce the amount of political content users see in their news feeds. That NPR hit piece that I talked about yesterday, so if you haven't checked it out, the link, or it's in my video catalog, check that video out. It's doing actually really well. That NPR hit piece on the Daily Wire inadvertently showed that Facebook is likely throttling the reach of content with its chart showing the engagement per article for sites like the Daily Wire versus New York Times and others. So if you're throttling the Daily Wire, people want their news and they're going to try to seek it out. And so they might end up inadvertently clicking on another site or going towards another site, which would hurt the Daily Wire and benefit a leftist biased outlet. So Facebook here, in conjunction with the White House, folks, the White House is working with Facebook. Quote from Jen Psaki said so, that they're sitting here doing this to sites. Now, it goes on here to say the line graph shows that liberal and conservative media outlets have seen a drop in engagement since last year, though the New York Times and Washington Post have remained the same, somewhat level playing field for both of those. This could also be due to people returning to work since the pandemic and consuming less news, but it's just one of the many factors leading the traffic drop. So I think the Daily Wire does a great job here of showing, hey, it's not just conservatives that are losing viewership, but it's also the leftist media outlets. And there's various reasons for this. That's what I love, is they're not just pushing one specific narrative here. Now, we like to think it has to do with Trump, and I think a lot of it does, that Trump isn't in the media, because you see the ratings fluctuate when Trump was in office compared to when he wasn't before and after. Trump is a big story all the time, not just from what comes out of his mouth, but also the good things that he does, and also sometimes the bad. But I love that the Daily Wire here shows that there's other factors to this. And I'll give a prime example. The left love to talk about, like, say, like the wage gap. And they say, oh, well, it has to do with sexism. You know, men make more than women. They make 70 cents on the dollar, which is total BS, by the way. But they talk about one thing being the whole root cause when there's a lot of variables that go into that equation that make up what was the result of that happening, whatever the scenario is. And that's what I like the Daily Wire here, is they're not just pointing towards Trump. They're saying, look, there's a lot of reasons. It could be coronavirus. It could be Trump. It could be people going back to work. It could be lack of trust from the American public for the media. There's a ton of reasons here, but it's still a feel-good story, folks. They're getting what they deserve here. The American public doesn't want to deal with their crap anymore of them pushing these false narratives. If you're going to be an opinionated news outlet, you need to say so. If you're going to sit there and be like CNN and try to claim that you're unbiased and you're the most trustworthy news outlet out there, but then lie to the American public day in and day out, like Brian Stelter, Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo, and others, these are the results you're going to see. And I bet you if they sat there and portrayed Biden the same way they did Trump, their ratings would probably increase. If they actually just did normal journalism, investigative journalism, and they did the news that they were supposed to, the American public could watch it. Hell, I would watch it, because I'd say, oh, this is what's going on. You're not giving me biased news. You're just telling me what's happening. You actually did the old school investigative journalism before you reported on a damn story. You went out there, you did the grind work, you did what you're supposed to do, and now you're reporting upon it trustworthy without your damn stupid opinion. If you want opinions, heck, say that, hey, this is an opinion show just like mine. Everybody knows it's a conservative opinion show. I'm going to give my opinion, which is why I like to think people watch it, or they like watching me be an idiot, one or the other. But hey, it's all entertainment at the end of the day. Am I not right? Am I not right? But folks, there you have it. We have a feel-good story. Let this soak in for a little bit. Meditate on it, because this is what we kind of wanted here. The media to get a little bit of taste of their own medicine with the views and the traffic drop being since Trump left office. Now, I will be back on here a little bit later today, folks. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Share this on social media with your friends and family, and I'll see you a little bit later here on The Bald Brad Show.